Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. First of all, I want to congratulate you because you've just taken a huge step in your cleaning journey. The moment you realize you need to throw things out of your home is honestly something worth celebrating. My mom has always wanted a tidy house, but last week when I went home, my parents had stuff scattered from inside the house all the way out to the yard. It looked clean at first glance, but I still felt something was off. Everything felt crowded and kind of messy in a way I couldn't ignore. And my life philosophy is this: if you want a clean, organized home, the very first step is getting rid of things. This is a crucial step that so many people overlook, which is exactly why I wanted to congratulate you for taking this first step. I just finished giving my mom's house a little makeover, throwing out everything unnecessary. And now I'm super excited to share with you all the things you should get rid of immediately to make your home cleaner and more organized. And of course, I've gathered plenty of experience before this too. All right, let's jump right in. First up is my mom's kitchen drawer, the place that's always packed with space-hogging gadgets, like apple slicers, mango cutters, and strawberry stem-removing tools. These are the kinds of things that get used maybe a few times a year at best. Honestly, all of them could easily be replaced by one sharp, versatile kitchen knife that's way more practical. And then there are the trendy appliances like the first-generation air fryer or the nut milk maker. My mom used them a few times, got excited for like a week, and then completely abandoned them. Not to mention her collection of old plastic containers, stained, discolored, missing lids, not only useless, but also potentially unsafe because of microplastics. Seeing all this made me realize something. I'm sure your kitchen drawer also has at least one item you haven't touched in years. And for me, starting here is the best way to build a more streamlined kitchen. One that helps you save time and actually brings back the joy of cooking. And tomorrow I'll be sharing the real results I've seen after a full month of decluttering, one small step at a time. Stay tuned. I think you'll really love what's coming. Next is my mom's closet, which is honestly an emotional battlefield. When I started decluttering, I found so many old clothes, worn out, ill-fitting, or way too tight that she hadn't worn in ages. I kept putting each item into the discard basket, but every single time my mom would pick it back up with this guilty look on her face, clearly not wanting to let it go. She holds onto everything clothes that no longer fit pieces saved for special occasions that never actually happen. And especially this one old pair of size S jeans she keeps hoping she'll magically fit into again someday. At that moment, I remembered the expensive pair of pants I once bought online. When it arrived, I realized I had ordered the wrong size, way too big, and couldn't return it. The style was flared, the legs were narrow, but the waist was ridiculously wide. There was no way to fix it. I couldn't wear it, couldn't gift it, but the guilt of wasting money kept me from throwing it away. One day during a declutter session, I finally let it go, and honestly, I felt so relieved afterward. So, I want you to check your own closet. If you see something sitting there covered in emotional dust, I'm telling you from the heart. If you don't use it, let it go or give it to someone who will. Clothes are meant to serve you, not the other way around. I helped my mom follow one simple rule: if she hasn't worn something for over 6 months, it's time for it to go. We also handled old gifts she didn't use, items taking up space that she felt guilty giving away. But gifts aren't meant to occupy shelves. They're meant to carry someone's love. The best way to honor them is to let them go when they no longer serve you. When I got to my mom's bedroom to clean, I opened the drawer under her bed and found a whole treasure chest of old pillows. My mom is the type who keeps everything. If a pillow still seems fine, she'll continue using it, even if it has probably been with her for 10 years. But honestly, those pillows were the silent villains ruining her sleep. Old pillows lose their elasticity over time. they stop supporting your neck the way they should, which can easily lead to stiff shoulders, neck pain, or waking up feeling sore. And every night, our body produces sweat and natural oils that slowly seep into the pillow, creating stains no amount of washing can fully remove. Not to mention all the dust mites, dead skin cells, accumulating inside. No wonder my mom sometimes sneezes or has itchy skin. And according to experts, pillows should really be replaced every 1-2 years. So if you also have pillows that have been companions for far too long, it's time to say goodbye. Choose new, soft, high-quality pillows for yourself and your mom too, so your sleep can finally be supported and cared for every night. Sometimes a new pillow is all you need for a deep, peaceful sleep and a fresh, comfortable start to the day. When I got to my mom's fridge, I was honestly shocked. There are only 2 people living at home, my dad and my mom, yet my mom absolutely loves going to the market. Whenever she sees something fresh, she buys it and stores it. The old food isn't finished yet, but she keeps adding new food on top, and it just piles up endlessly. I opened the fridge and was stunned. So many frozen bags and containers, big and small, and some were frozen so hard, I couldn't even tell what they originally were. And my mom always says, leave it there, we'll eat it later. But realistically, how can 2 people ever finish that much food? Canned foods, frozen items that have been living in the fridge for a whole year, sometimes even several years, they really don't have any value left except taking up space and making the fridge constantly overloaded. So the 2 of us started sorting everything out, leftover food, old frozen items, containers of food my mom completely forgot about. After we threw everything out, I scrubbed and washed the fridge until it was spotless wiped. Every shelf rinsed, every drawer until everything smelled clean and looked fresh again. And honestly, seeing the fridge so clean with only fresh necessary items inside, the feeling was indescribably satisfying. A tidy fridge is the first step to easier cooking and finding things without stress. When I started cleaning my mom's shoe rack, I finally understood why she often complained about joint pain. She had kept so many pairs of shoes with worn-out soles, uneven bottoms, misshapen forms, yet she still didn't want to throw them away. Meanwhile, there were brand new beautiful shoes sitting there untouched. According to Jason Karp, a physiologist and author of the book Running for Women Running Shoes, should be replaced after 500 to 600 kilometers of use. For someone who runs about 50 kilometers a week, that means a new pair every 3 months. And for people who don't run, often experts recommend replacing shoes every 6 months or whenever you notice the soles are worn down. He explained that when shoes are worn out, their shock absorption becomes weaker. The impact from each step hits the muscles, bones, and tendons more directly, increasing the risk of injury and pain. So when I saw my mom's worn-out shoes, I knew right away that they were part of the reason she often had knee pain and ankle pain. I went through the entire shoe rack and kept only a few pairs that she still wore and were still in good condition. All the old, worn-down, dirty pairs that she hadn't touched for years, I gathered them all to throw away. When I placed each pair into the trash bag, I could clearly see that unwilling look on her face, and I could only look back at her with a face saying, "Sorry, Mom, I'm throwing these away." Tablecloths, floor rugs, and those little mats around the house always make a space feel warm and cozy, but honestly, every time it came to cleaning them, I was so tired. A tiny spill would soak right in, and after a long time, the stains became almost impossible to remove. No matter how many times you wash them, they still look old and dull. If it's something high quality, something my mom carefully chose, good material, durable, I'd suggest she send it to the dry cleaners to get it properly cleaned. But for the cheap ones, thin ones, or those used for so long that I couldn't even recognize their original color, honestly, there's no point keeping them. While cleaning for my mom, I gathered a whole pile of old towels and rugs she had kept out of habit. Just leave it there, maybe I'll use it later, even though clearly no one would want to spread them on the floor anymore. So I told her straight, let's just replace these, Mom. Even washing them won't make them clean again. And she agreed right away because replacing them made the whole house look brighter and fresher. Simply put, if something is cheap and already worn out, don't cling to it. A new one is cleaner, prettier, and honestly makes your mind feel lighter too. When I cleaned my mom's medicine cabinet, I was honestly shocked. My mom often has back pain, joint pain, and sometimes catches a cold, so she buys medicine and then just leaves it there. When I opened the cabinet, oh my gosh, there were all kinds of medicine, cough medicine, anti-inflammatory pills, supplements, muscle rubs, sleep aids, cold medicine, so many that it looked like a mini pharmacy. But the problem wasn't the amount, it was the amount of expired medicine. There were blister packs that expired 3 or 4 years ago, and even some that my mom didn't remember buying or why she even had them. I joked with her mom, if we keep this like a buffet, I'll take a headache pill and end up with a stomachache too. Expired medicine is extremely dangerous. Not only does it lose effectiveness, but it can also cause side effects. Allergic reactions, stomach pain, even poisoning. What's scarier is that expired pills can easily mix with the ones that are still usable. And for older people like my mom with weaker eyesight and difficulty reading small text, taking the wrong pill is a very real risk. So the two of us sat down and sorted the entire cabinet. Expired, throw away immediately. Unknown origin, throw away. No longer needed, remove. Keep only what she actually uses, organized by category and placed somewhere easy to reach. After cleaning the medicine cabinet, looked so much brighter and organized. Everything was easy to find, no more risk of confusion. And my mom looked visibly relieved. Medicine is meant to heal, not harm, so anything expired needs to go. Mom, if your home also has a secret medicine stash like my mom's, I strongly suggest checking it right now and bravely throwing away anything old, faded, peeling, or expired because your family's health deserves to be protected. When I cleaned my mom's desk drawer, I honestly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. My mom has a very adorable habit. She keeps every kind of paper, electricity bills, supermarket receipts, warranty cards that expired ages ago, even tiny sticky notes she doesn't remember writing. I pulled the drawer open and saw a whole mountain of paper. There were bills from 5-10 years ago, warranty cards for appliances we already threw away, manuals for machines the house doesn't even own anymore, and then all kinds of notes, reminders to pay bills, old wedding invitations, parent-teacher meeting notices for me. I mean, I'm grown and working now, but she still kept the paper. Older, people often fear throwing away something important, so they keep everything just in case. But over time, it piles up and clutters the whole space. In the end, I helped my mom sort important documents, house papers, medical files, insurance into one folder. Temporary items, major bills, warranties still valid into another. And everything else, old, useless, meaningless, throw away immediately without hesitation. And honestly, once the space was cleared and those random papers were gone, Mom found everything so much easier. Less clutter, less stress, and the room suddenly felt bigger. If your house also has a secret paper stash like this, take a deep breath and sort it once and for all. You'll be shocked at how many completely useless things you've been keeping for years. As for cosmetics, my mom is the perfect example of minimalist by accident. She barely wears makeup, almost never uses perfume, so she only has a few basic items, a lipstick, some powder, and an eyebrow pencil. But the problem is, she keeps them for way too long. There was one lipstick she had been using for 3 years. The color had changed, The smell had changed, but she still insisted on keeping it because there's still a lot left. Throwing it away is such a waste, dear. Every time I saw her take that lipstick out, I wanted to say, Mom, if this lipstick could talk, it would probably beg for retirement already. Honestly, low quality or overly old lipstick can dry out your lips, darken them, or even cause irritation. And expired cosmetics are extremely dangerous. They can cause rashes, allergic reactions, breakouts, and even skin infections. My mom's skin is thin and sensitive too, so I really couldn't let her keep using those old products. So, while cleaning, I quietly tossed the old lipstick into the trash and gave her a new one, prettier and much better quality. And I'm sure many of you out there buy way more cosmetics than my mom, sometimes dozens of products, but still feel guilty throwing them away when they expire. Old lipstick, separated moisturizer, dried mascara, you still keep them just because they're not empty yet. But makeup isn't like clothes. Expired means it must go. Keeping it in your drawer only wastes space and risks your skin's health. So if you're feeling a little called out right now, check your makeup drawer today. Who knows, you might discover your own little expired beauty museum, just like the one at my mom's house. And then we moved on to the chargers, cables, remotes, the classic story in every household. And, of course, my family was no exception. But the funny part is, the hoarder wasn't my mom, it was my dad. My dad loves fixing things around the house. Anything broken, anything loose, he wants to keep it just in case we need it someday. So our house always has a giant box, which I jokingly call the prehistoric electronics box. That day, while helping my mom clean, I opened that box to see what was inside. And oh my goodness. Screws, glue, rubber pieces, mixed together like a labyrinth. A huge roll of electrical wire that made me think Dad was preparing in case the earth suddenly lost power. When my dad saw me pull the box out, he rushed over, hey, don't throw any of that away. Okay, these still work. So I asked Dad, this remote, what does it control? He went silent for 5 seconds and then said, I think the DVD player, the one that broke ages ago. And that's when the gentle interrogation began. What is this wire for? Does this still work? Dad, have you used this at all in the past 6 months? Each question made him smile awkwardly. Finally, he admitted, okay, fine. You can throw them away. I've kept them this long, but never used them. So, the two of us sorted everything, chargers with no devices, throw remotes that belong to nothing, throw broken or cracked cables, throw the few items still truly usable, keep in a smaller, tidy box. After we finished, there was a huge bag of old electronic junk to throw away, so big that my mom started laughing when she saw it. And I realized something: my dad wasn't attached to those items. He was attached to the old habit of keeping things just in case, like so many older men do. If you're cleaning your house and find a box of random electronics like this, trust me, 80% of it is useless. Throwing away a few old chargers will make your home feel lighter and your mind too. When I moved on to the plant area in the house, I finally understood why my mom always complained that the house feels gloomy and dull. My mom loves plants. If anyone gives her a plant, she brings it home. If she sees a cute stem somewhere, she breaks it off to propagate. But the problem is, she doesn't have time to actually take care of them. So the number of living plants is small, and the number of wilted or dead ones is huge. There were pots with nothing left but a single dry, skinny stem standing in the soil like it was trying to hold on to life. Some pots had completely yellow leaves with only a few hanging on as if they felt bad for Mom. Some pots looked empty from afar, but when I looked closer, I saw a tiny stump that had already rotted. Some of those plants had clearly passed away 3 lifetimes ago, but she still kept them because she felt bad about throwing away the pot, the soil, or the effort she put into planting them. But the reality is simple. Dead plants make the space gloomy, they attract insects, the soil gets moldy and smells, and the whole corner looks lifeless. Plants are just like other items. If they no longer bring energy or life into the home, it's time to let them go. When a plant dies, we can replace it with something fresh, green, and uplifting. So the two of us sat together and pulled out the dead stems, cleaned the pots, and threw away the old decaying soil. And honestly, once we cleared, everything kept only the healthy plants, trimmed yellow leaves, wiped the dusty ones. The space instantly felt lighter, brighter, and so much more alive. A lot of people keep dead plants because they think, maybe I can revive it. But most of the time, keeping them only makes your space sadder. So if you also have some plants at home, dead roots, throw completely dead plant, throw wilted but still growing new leaves. Keep and care for them. Plants growing wildly, trim, indoor plants are meant to bring life into your home. Not hold onto old sadness in a corner. Let go of the dead ones, and you'll see your home and your mood brighten up immediately, just like my mom's house did. There was one time when we were traveling, and my dad tried pulling the suitcase out to the yard to see if it could still be used. And the moment he pulled it just 1 meter, the wheel fell right off. The whole family froze for a few seconds and then burst out laughing. And yet, my mom still kept it saying, just keep it to store things. But the truth is, no one ever stored anything in it. My mom has a habit of keeping all old suitcases, even if they're broken and unusable. A suitcase with broken wheels or a damaged handle really has no value anymore. You can't take it. Traveling. You can't roll it on the floor. And if you repair it, the cost is almost the same as buying a new one. Replacing it with a new suitcase lighter, more durable, more convenient for trips is totally worth it. Objects are just like people once they no longer serve us. It's time to let them go so our living space can feel more open and comfortable. And keeping them in the closet only makes the space more cramped, collects dust, and makes everything feel heavy. When I started cleaning the corner where my mom kept all her memories, I knew right away this would be the most emotional part. Objects, carrying old memories reminding us of the past, every family has them. And my mom especially has even more memories than anyone I know. There was an old handkerchief someone gave her when she was young. There was a metal cookie tin that my grandmother used back then to store sewing supplies. There was an old knitted sweater my dad bought for her when they were newly married. There were handwritten letters from an old friend she no longer keeps in touch with. And even things I looked at and couldn't figure out what they were, but my mom still kept them because it's a memory dear. Memories warm the heart, but items that no longer bring any use just make the space cramped and heavy. Sometimes those memories also carry old emotions, a little joy, but often a lot of lingering sadness. My mom looked at each item. Some made her smile, some made her tear up. But then she started choosing what to keep and what to let go. And strangely enough, the more she let go, the lighter her face became. When we free ourselves from items that tie us too tightly to the past, the house feels lighter, and so do we. If you also have a memory storage corner, try this keep only, the things that truly make you smile. Let go of items that weigh you down emotionally. Take photos if you want to save the memory without keeping the object. A tidy home begins with choosing what deserves to stay and having the courage to say goodbye to things that belong in the past. Finally, while cleaning together with my mom, I realized something important. It's not always easy to decide whether to keep or let go of an item. Many things look obviously unnecessary, but when you actually touch them, emotions get in the way, guilt, nostalgia, memories. And I believe many of you have been stuck in that same feeling. So my mom and I followed a small ritual before deciding, asking a few simple but powerful questions. You should try this too. Why am I still keeping this? Not to blame yourself, but to be honest with yourself. Are you keeping it because of memories? Because you feel guilty? Because you're used to holding on? Sometimes just asking this question gives you the answer right away. Does it still fit the person I am today? The you from last year, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago is different now. An item that once meant something may no longer match your current lifestyle or needs, and that means it's time for it to go. How would I feel if I let this go? If the answer is I'd feel lighter, I'd feel relieved, my home would feel bigger, then clearly you know what to do. But if you truly feel happy keeping it, then that item deserves to stay with you. And from that moment, letting go became much easier. No more stress, no more guilt. Decluttering is not just cleaning your home, it's clearing your mind. And sometimes one right question is enough for you to finally release things that no longer serve your life today. Finally, after decluttering comes the part that makes everything so much easier: sorting. When I was cleaning with my mom after we decided what should stay and what should go, the next step was organizing everything clearly. If you just throw everything into one pile, it's so easy to get overwhelmed again. And then my mom would start picking things up one by one, saying, "Let me check if this is still useful," and everything gets messy again. So I divided everything into 3 clear categories, which helped keep things tidy and helped my mom feel less attached. 1, to give away items that are still good, still pretty, still usable, just no longer suitable for my mom. We could give them to relatives, friends, or donate to charity. I could see how happy my mom was thinking someone else can use this. It won't go to waste. This category made her feel like she was giving, not throwing away. 2, to throw away items that were broken, moldy, expired, torn, missing parts, or no longer functional. Basically anything that no matter how much you want to keep, nobody can use anymore. This was the pile I filled the fastest, because keeping these things only makes the house more cluttered. 3, to sell. Some items were still almost brand new, high-quality things with real value, but my mom no longer needed them. So we put them in the sell pile. This not only freed up space, but also gave my mom a little extra money on the side. Sorting everything into 3 simple groups helped both me and my mom stay focused, avoid emotional decisions, and most importantly, actually see the cleaning progress clearly. Just by sorting properly, decluttering becomes naturally easier and much less stressful. After a long day cleaning with my mom, I realized that making a home tidier isn't just about organizing things. It's also a way for the 2 of us to sit down together, share, laugh, and let go of old things so we can welcome new things into our lives. Every item we threw away was a little piece of space being returned, and also a little piece of the mind becoming lighter. Somehow I felt like all the effort was completely worth it. I hope this little story between me and my mom inspires you to start your own decluttering journey slowly, gently, but truly transforming your space and your mood. Remember, a tidy home brings positive energy. A clean space helps you breathe easier. And sometimes cleaning your home is also a way to clean up yourself. And if you want to continue this journey with me in the next video, I'll be sharing the 30 days I spent decluttering my own life. Not just my belongings, but also my habits, thoughts, and lifestyle. I hope you'll watch it because I truly believe it will help you a lot. And if you found these stories helpful or inspiring, please leave a little sign below so I know you're also on this journey with me, turning your home into a place you genuinely want to come back to.